In the morning, as the sun arises, you wake me up with your smile and a kiss upon my cheek. Hey, 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 love, hey, love, hey, yo, be I, hey, do, be I, land, hey, do, be I, land. Hey ya lo hey 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 do we lan hey do we lan hey 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 lo hey do we lan hey do we lan hey do we lan hey do we lan Edo we halan, la way alone. Edo we halan, Edo we halan, Edo yo hey, Edo we halan, Edo we halan, Edo we halan. Hey, 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 love, hey, love. Hey, yo, we halan. Hey, yo, we halan. Hey, yo, hey, len. Hey, yo, we halan. Hey, yo, we halan. Hey, yo, we halan. Hey, 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 love. In the morning, as the sun arises, you wake me up with a smile and a kiss upon my cheek. Hey, I love, hey, I love.
Janet, Leia Shift, Janet, Leia Shift, Janet Shift, Hojo Hey, Neo, Ta So De Shije, Hojo Gona Shadow, Neo, Ha De Shije, Hojo Gona Shadow, Neo, Shada De Shije, Hojo Gona Shadow, Neo, De Shije, Hojo Gona Shadow, Neo, Naha Kos De Shije, Hojo Gona Shadow, Neo, Shift Janet, Leia Shift Janet, Leia Shift Janet, Shift Hojo Hey, Neo, Ta So De Shije, Hojo Gona Shadow, Neo, Tadadin Atin Bakago, Hojo Gona Shadow, Saana Rebek Hojon, Nishni Gona Shadow. Hojon Hasli Nasengo, Na Shadow. Shift Janet, Leia Shift Janet, Leia Shift Janet, Shift Hojo Hey, Neo, Ta So De Shije, Hojo Gona Shadow, Neo, Hojona Hasli, Hojona Hasli, Hojona Hasli, Hojona Hasli.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Carrie Pena, and thank you so much for being part of the Silver and Turquoise Ball virtual event. And thank you to Danae Urban Voices for opening things up with the beautiful blessing song tonight. They are part of the Phoenix Indian Center's Cultural Enrichment and Navajo Language Program, and a shining example of the many programs and services that this event supports. Programs like workforce development, drug and alcohol prevention services and outreach, youth development, and cultural enrichment, which is the focus of this show tonight, art and fashion. This evening, we'll be celebrating the art of Native fashion.
His encouragement, the fact that he went to my first opening, which was at the Institute of American Indian Arts, him and Alan Hauser, and they both were there. I got a standing ovation from them. I can't tell you to this day, from the bottom of my heart, it has given me the courage to be able to go forward and share resources and encourage the beautiful textile movement.
But before we get started, let's hear from Patty Hibbler, the CEO of Phoenix Indian Center.
Thanks, Carrie, and welcome to everyone watching us live tonight or at a later date. As Carrie mentioned, we are celebrating the art of Native fashion with shows featuring the work of Lloyd Kiva, presented by Robert Black, ACONAV by Loren and Valentina Aragon, and Water Lily, presented by Patricia Michaels. Also, we will honor our 2020 Leon Grant Spirit of the Community Award, the Phoenix Suns. Plus, we will update you on what the Phoenix Indian Center has been up to during these trying times and how we are finding ways to continue to support our American Indian community. I hope you enjoyed tonight's Silver and Turquoise Ball virtual edition.
Thank you, Patty. This show will challenge some of the ideas you may have about American Indian fashion. It will show you how designs have evolved over the decades, and we will see work from the best modern Native designers. Phoenix Indian Center has a long history of supporting artists. They were founded to support the transition of the American Indian community from reservations to the urban setting. The center served as a hub for American Indian artists to sell and trade their artwork and wares, and they have been going strong ever since. Our first show tonight highlights the work of the late Lloyd Kiva. In the 1950s, his work earned national acclaim and put Scottsdale on the map as a fashion and arts destination. This collection will be presented by my friend Robert Black with a special performance by the incredible Gabriel Ayala.
I'm Robert Black, and we're sitting in my store in downtown Scottsdale, Arizona in the Arts District. It's got a vintage store. I believe we have one of the largest privately owned collections of Lloyd Kiva new. And his shop, he opened in 1945. He closed, I'm going to say either 59 or 60 and moved to Santa Fe. So the pieces we have literally are from those dates of time, and they are just absolutely magnificent. He did leather, so he did leather coats, he did leather suits, but he was very famous for his leather handbags. And he did a collaboration with Charles Lolema to do the findings on the handbags. So the big buckles were done by Lolema, who is probably the rock star in Native American jewelry. He believed in his own value. He used beautiful silks, he used raw silks, his cottons were perfect cotton, screen printed with another artist, and they did it all in-house, and everything was handmade. Lloyd Kiva knew definitely was ahead of his time, and when I bring the collection out and start looking at it again every now and then, we're having to source something, and I sit there and I look at something that looks like a garment that I just saw in Vogue in an editorial spread. When you see the fashion show today, and you're going to see kind of a broad spectrum of what I felt it was that he did. So you see some very simple pieces, you see some more elaborate evening type pieces, you see some of the metallics. He used metallic leathers that look again like Dolce & Gabbana today. I mean, it's fascinating. But you see what he was creating back then, and how can you not appreciate who he was and what he did for the future artists that are going to follow.
On behalf of the Phoenix Indian Center Board of Directors, welcome. Chukma, Hachi Chokmata, Soholcha Foat, Tracy Morris, Chikasha Seah. My name is Tracy Morris, and I'm from the Chickasaw Nation of Oklahoma, and I'm also the president of the Phoenix Indian Center Board of Directors. And I want to thank you all for attending our virtual event, and I extend my gratitude to our sponsors for their ongoing support. Their contributions enable the center to continue its legacy of enriching the lives of American Indian children and families. Thank you also to the individuals who've taken time to support us and to tune in to this new format, including our fashion designers. It's so important to us, and it helps us be there for our amazing community by providing culturally relevant services and programs in 4 key areas: job preparedness, prevention services, cultural enrichment, and youth programming. Even though this Silver and Turquoise Ball is virtual, we wanted to incorporate as many interactive and in-person experiences as possible. One experience we all look forward to every year is our featured American Indian chef, who designs a custom Indigenous-inspired menu for our guests. Well, for those of you who registered early, you were sent a special Indigenous-inspired appetizer recipe by our featured virtual chef, Brian Yazzie. We hope you're enjoying this wonderful treat at home while watching tonight's show. Now let's hear from Chef Yazzie. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Chukma.
Chef, thank you so much, and it's great to have you a part of this special event and show. First, start off by talking about what it is that inspires you. You do so much good work, not just there in your hometown, but across the country and all around the world. What personally inspires you?
Definitely. For me, I would say my mom. The passion I have for cooking came from my mom for sure. Being the youngest out of 8 siblings, the unconditional love she always provided, especially for me, being the youngest, and her influence and her inspiration of bringing me into the kitchen one day. The sound of the knife tapping on the cutting board, or the aromatics coming from the kitchen. So definitely my mom would be, my inspiration. And as far as I am now in my career, owe everything to my mom.
I know all the moms out there will definitely love that answer. On your website, it talks about how you focus a lot on Indigenous-inspired ingredients. For those who aren't familiar, can you give us a little bit more flavor?
Definitely. So it all depends where you are at. Like a lot of chefs are saying nowadays that regardless where you are at in North America, you are on Indigenous land, right? So right now you're in Phoenix, you're in, a good circle of tribes in that area, coming from San Carlos Apache to Pim, to Gila River, down to Fort Yuma, so it depends where you're at. And for example, within that area in Phoenix, one of the ingredients I love to use is from Ramona Farms, from Gila River Reservation. And those are the temporary beans, the brown beans, so it's just knowing your landscape, knowing what's beneath your feet, and we're all indigenous to a certain place and time, so it's not that hard to look back our ancestral culture, and where we definitely come from. Growing up without a father figure, I was on the streets. I didn't really listen to my mom, even though she had that love for me, my siblings as well. When I'm talking to the youth today, I share that cooking saved my life. And the meaning to that is I went through 4 or 5 different high schools, and I did not receive my high school diploma until I was homeschooled at the age of 25 and on the Navajo Nation. And I went through a lot of juvenile detention centers on and off the reservation, and county jails on and off the reservation, and growing up in Phoenix, I went through these different high schools and with different negative environment, if you may, so learning from that, learning from my mistakes, and having the blessing to be able to get into the culinary field and have that as a tool to share with the next generation, who are interested in the culinary field, to share my story that, you can definitely change your ways. You don't have to be in a negative vibe to prove yourself, and for me, getting shot at, getting stabbed at, and, waking up, passed out on the streets days at a time, so just sharing that type of story, that there is a chance out there for you, you do have potential for sure. So sharing that type of story is, one of my main projects that I do.
Well, Brian, thank you so much. We appreciate you being with us. Just leave the audience with some final words from you, Chef Yazzie.
I wish we were all there in person, having a 4-course meal. Due to the pandemic, we have to play it safe, and I hope that you guys enjoy the appetizer, with the recipe cards that went out. And definitely have my love and respect, and on behalf of the Phoenix Indian Center.
Thank you, Chef Yazzie. Yes, we do hope to see you very soon so that you can prepare an amazing meal for us. Later on in the show, we'll let all of you know how you can win a free 1-hour virtual cooking lesson with Chef Yazzie. Good evening. My name is Varen Kawanviama. My mother's clan is Tatnasani. My father is Iswanwa. My maternal grandfather is Nasht Eja Tabaha, and my paternal grandfather is Bekashwanwa. I'm originally from the communities of Tuba City, Cameron, and Munkopi, all in Arizona. I'm honored to serve as this year's chairman of the Phoenix Indian Center's 37th annual Silver and Turquoise Ball. I currently practice business law, and I'm honored that my firm represents tribal governments and various enterprises they own. I'm currently sitting here with one of my clients, the Fort Mojave Indian Tribe, who has been gracious enough to allow me to use this background behind me, and the quote from one of its former tribal council secretaries, Hal O. Davidson. Treat your fellow man kindly. You must offer food and drink to anyone who comes to your camp. A hungry man or woman or child can do a great amount of worldly wrong. A person with a full stomach will not. Indeed, this is the spirit within which the Phoenix Indian Center has served our Phoenix urban community. Rather than tell you about all of the great things that the center provides, I thought I'd share a brief personal story of my own. Long before practicing law as a young boy, my family moved to the Phoenix area. Like many Native folks, they left our reservation to go to school, find work, and generally provide for a better life for me and my siblings. In fact, my mother, Michelle Crank, worked at the center for almost 10 years. My father, who was also going to school at the time, worked as a mechanic, but he would come to the center and carve Coconino dolls and sell them on the weekends. We spent a lot of time at the center. In the many years that my mom worked there, we made many friends who I'm happy to now consider family. I recall Wallace and Ladmo and other celebrities coming to the center from time to time. I loved Wallace and Ladmo. I never got a Ladmo bag, but some of my fondest memories are of events at the center and the sense of community that it created for people like us, poor but working class Native people who were simply looking to find their place in an unfamiliar world. Although we moved back to the reservation when I was 11, my experiences at the center were foundational to my personal growth, and I'm proud to say 2 generations later, I also have a daughter who was a finance professional and also finishing her second year of law school. The Phoenix Indian Center has a special place in my heart, and we are very fortunate to be a testament to the center's legacy. Indeed, the programs and services at the center provide intergenerational benefits to our people who need it most, those who are eligible and able to work and want to provide a better future for their family. While the COVID-19 pandemic has forced difficult times upon many of us, and now more than ever, it is those who are less fortunate than you and I who need your help, and many of you have stepped up to the plate. We greatly appreciate you. I also want to thank the Silver and Ball Executive Committee for their hard work in making sure that our event continued this year, albeit virtually and delayed. In spite of the challenges we face, we are all here, you are here, and we are grateful for you. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce the Leon Grant family for a very special presentation. Enjoy your evening, and thank you again for being with us tonight. Thank you.
In 2013, the Phoenix Indian Center established the Leon Grant Spirit of the Community Award. This national award recognizes an individual or organization for their service, commitment, and dedication to the greater good of the American Indian community. It is named for our father, Leon Grant, one of the founding members of Phoenix Indian Center and its first executive director. Tonight, we are pleased to award the Leon Grant Spirit of Community Award to the Phoenix Suns in recognition for their continual support and uplifting the American Indian community.
Over many years, they became a friend and partner and continue to celebrate the American Indian community through their support of programs like the Phoenix Indian Center's annual Youth Leadership Day, hosting an annual Native American Heritage Night, and supporting the largest national all-Native high school basketball tournament, Native American Basketball Invitational, better known as NABI. And here to accept the award is Phoenix Suns owner, Robert Sarver.
First and foremost, I want to share my utmost thanks and appreciation to the Phoenix Indian Center for this prestigious award. The work we've accomplished together has only been made possible by the great community partners like you and the tireless staff at the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury. For more than a decade, we've been dedicated to improving the lives of our local Native American communities and helping grow the game of basketball right here in the Valley. Through the years, we've partnered with the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, the Gila River Indian Community, and Ak-Chin Indian Community to host countless youth basketball clinics and camps, helping share the game of basketball with hundreds of local youth each year. I'm a firm believer that the benefits of basketball go well beyond the court and teach our youth the value of hard work, perseverance, integrity, and teamwork, all vital principles crucial to helping create a better tomorrow today. Since its inception in 2003, we've worked with the Native American Basketball Invitational to support their annual basketball camp for incoming 7th and 8th grade students. And additionally, each season we host a college student intern from the Native American community to help them gain real-world experience and readiness for the transition upon graduation. While we've accomplished plenty in the last decade, I'm looking forward to the future, the positive impacts we continue to make, and our ongoing dedication to the Native American communities across the Valley and across our state. Thank you again for this honor. Go Suns, go Mercury, stay safe.
Congratulations, Mr. Sarver and the Phoenix Suns, on earning this award in our father's honor. We are delighted to present it to you on his behalf. Now it's time to celebrate more fashion by some of our personal favorite Native American designers. ACONAV, presented by Loren Aragon and Water Lily by Patricia Michaels. ACONAV is a couture fashion brand based on the idea of respectful representation of American Indian culture in fashion. Their purpose is to share, educate, and connect people to artistry and the Accoma's ways of life.
Patricia Michaels is the designer of the Water Lily collection and is a well-renowned fashion and textile designer. You may recognize her from season 11 of Project Runway, where she was a finalist. She was also the recipient of the inaugural Arts and Designs Award by the Smithsonian's National Museum of the American Indian. Let's start the show.
Yay! Hello, my native name is Water Lily, and here I am, Patricia Michaels from Santa Fe, in my showroom with my latest collection and also always my couture collection. It's been really interesting to do a new collection that is highlighting the need to bring awareness for the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. So I have been doing a lot of video that is helping to bring this horrible genocide that is happening in Native country, and we need to put a stop to it. So it's really poured out a lot of my artistic avant-garde statements, and working with models and people in film, photographers. We're bonding together to really try to help get this movement across. When I was 13 years old, I was kidnapped at a party, and I was held captive for 4 days. I nearly lost my life. He finally let me go on the 4th day, and I ran home, and I was very lucky to survive. I didn't almost make it because he did try to kill me during those 4 days. I can't imagine what the women and the girls and men are going through as we speak. And because I am a survivor of something horrific, I know that I'm very fortunate. And I didn't survive then to sit back and know that it's not a reality. I survived because something has to be done about it. And I think by really being able to go deep inside of where I come from and who I am, that has really been able to bring some strength in the imagery that you will see, and in the songs, in the and the garments too. Everything is empowering. I can't wait to share with you what we've been doing. It is absolutely exciting. Before I leave, I just want to tell all of you to be safe out there. We are in challenging times, so please be mindful, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, wear your masks. Uhitil, ma'aitan, ay amalahu, ay ukam masuaya, kana kwisa kram sukumakutut. Bye.
down my words to match the lines of your shapes. Dark, let's be unheard, wrapping in the shadows of our lakes. Strike the charcoal in our car. To your lips you can eat my name, and I can spend the day digging through the many lines of your shade, so you can draw away and turn my words into shapes. I'm yours to form, and I'm trusting these lines to hold. I got words for you, I got words for you to mold.
What's hopa? Hello everyone, my name is Loren Aragon. I am the CEO and designer of ACONAV. The idea behind ACONAV really started with the idea of celebrating the strength and empowerment of women. Our culture is mostly matrilineal, and the cultures of the Navajo and Acoma tribes are both matrilineal, and we wanted to represent that somehow. And the best we could do that through was fashion. Lloyd Kiva knew I really didn't know until just about 3 years ago. A lot of people who saw my work in the different shows that we do really made a connection to his work as far as the print designs that were Native American or culturally fueled by our pottery art. The collection we're presenting tonight is representative of rain, and it's also a prayer to the world, and it gives us a connection with everyone else in the world. So the ideas behind it are unifying. Our culture is mostly based on the ideas of praying to the living world. And rain is really where it starts. The water is our first medicine. And with that comes life. So the ideas behind everything we put into our pottery art, the designs, the lines, every little detail has something to connect to in life. And that's what we want to represent. And the living world through fashion, for me, makes that connection to where I come from. Here now is the ACONAV ready-to-wear collection inspired by rain. Pe'echa.
It has been such a pleasure for me to get to know these designers and learn more about their work and how their lives have been impacted by the Phoenix Indian Center. Since 1947, the center has helped over 1 million people. And right now, during the pandemic, they've activated emergency response. Patty told me about it when we sat down for an earlier interview.
We not only service people here in the urban area of Metro Phoenix, we took the time to learn what was happening to our brothers and sisters living out on the reservations. As we were able to stay on top of those numbers weekly and determine which tribes were in need of relief, we held some relief efforts to try to take in donations to help those particular tribes. Yeah. We have now sent 6 semi-trucks out to reservations, several 29-foot U-Hauls out to reservations, all to be able to help them with their COVID pandemic. I think right now our drug and alcohol prevention is so relevant. We're doing a lot of work around suicide prevention, work with depression and anxiety, which we know is growing throughout the pandemic.
All money raised here tonight will help support these efforts and all of the essential work the center does every single day. Before we get over to Anna Aha, we want to show you how the Phoenix Indian Center impacts so many lives.
Good evening, I'm Anna Aha. What beautiful and amazing fashion we've been treated to tonight. Before we dig in and learn more about the Phoenix Indian Center and how they've met the needs of the American Indian community throughout this pandemic, I want to remind you that our silent auction is open and it will remain open until Monday night at 8 p.m. So as I always say, bid fast and bid often. Additionally, anyone who donates tonight and through the weekend will be entered to win a fantastic prize with Chef Brian Yazzie, a virtual cooking class. Any dollar amount donated between now and Sunday night at midnight will be entered to win. You know, when the pandemic hit back in March, it would have been really easy for the center to throw a sign on the door or the website and say, closed until further notice. But that's not who the Phoenix Indian Center is. They immediately made sure that their staff and their clients were safe. They transitioned all their workshops and trainings to virtual. And my favorite part is that staff gathered all of the contacts from the last 2 years and called every single person. Over 4,000 phone calls were made to show them that they care, that they're there for them. They asked them hard questions. If they had lost jobs, did they need rental assistance? Were their children home, distance learning? Did they need laptops? They turned around, compiled the data, and immediately went to work, finding the resources to meet the needs of their clients. One client said, you know, we're actually doing okay, but it means so much to us that you called and checked. That's the heart and soul of the Phoenix Indian Center. Our first level tonight's $5,000. Any dollar amount is appreciated and welcomed. I'm going to thank people throughout the night. In fact, Jake at the $50 level, we appreciate you. Varen at $1,000. The Salt River Materials Group at $3,500. Thank you for your support. If you're watching this at a later date, please know that our text to give number is still active, 61094. Text that and donate because the need has not ended and you can join our mission at any time. In fact, staff has just let me know that the amount of rental assistance they've given out this year has not just doubled, it's tripled. people still need help getting back up on their feet. If you're able to give at the $2,500 level, we appreciate any dollar amount. In fact, I want to thank the Phoenix Suns for their $3,500 donation. Kelly at $500, Sunsaray at $25. Thank you so, so much. You heard Patty mention that they wanted to reach out to their brothers and sisters on the reservation and see how they could help. And wow, help they did. 6 semi-truckloads, 5 29-foot truckloads went up servicing the Navajo Nation, the Hopi tribe, the White Mountain Apache tribe, and the Wallapai tribe, all providing PPE materials, food, water, even hay for livestock. The spirit of giving is alive and well at the Phoenix Indian Center. Anyone that can give at the $1,000 level and continue these acts of service would be much appreciated. I want to thank Blue Cross Blue Shields, a $5,000 donation, Sign Vision at $50, Carrie at $100. Delana and Bree are passing me names left and right. We appreciate every donation that is coming in, and you're all getting entered to win your virtual cooking class with Chef Yazi. Let's talk local, because 76% of American Indians reside off the reservation. That's why the Phoenix Indian Center started, to help the urban population of American Indians, and they continue to meet those needs. You know, Varen mentioned in his talk earlier, our gala chair, the quote saying that no man, woman, or child should be turned away from your camp if they need food or water, because those with food in their belly do good things. That's what the center has done. Back in August, they partnered with World Vision and had a no-contact food distribution, and they filled 800 cars with fresh fruit and produce, Bluebird flour, Gatorade coffee, and so much more. Generous giving. The level is $500. The time is now. I've got donations coming in. Greg at $1,000, Wayne at $50. Thank you. Synchrony Financial at $8,750. Thank you so, so much. You know, the emergency response that's been activated from staff has been incredible, but what I find so inspiring is they've continued all of their other service areas on the day-to-day basis. The things that they need now more than ever. Workforce development, absolutely. Prevention services, we know what kind of year 2020 has done to people's mental health or those struggling with addiction. The Phoenix Indian Center continues to provide these services that are critical to their clients. The level is $250. The time is now. I want to thank Dan for their $100 donation, Andrea at $100, Deborah at $100. We've got APS at $10,000. Thank you. And Craig at $50. Incredible generosity coming in tonight. Additionally, an area of service, our youth development. We're making sure that we're getting our students college and career ready. They had an awesome Signal Success workshop, and one of the rainbows in the cloudy skies of this pandemic has been that virtual means no geographic boundaries. So that's right, kids in California, students from California tuned in to the Signal Success workshop. Additionally, our cultural enrichment programs have continued to thrive. I've previously participated in some, and I was really looking forward to a Navajo weaving class, but I loved my Navajo language class that I jumped on a Zoom call for. $100 is the level that continues these critical service programs. I want to thank Urban for your $1,000 donation. Thank you. Vincent at $50 and Casino, Arizona at $5,000. Thank you so, so much. As if a pandemic wasn't enough, 2020 has also brought us a census and an election. And as a trusted source, the Phoenix Indian Center knows that it's their job to educate and inform the American Indian population that their voices count and they deserve to be heard. So they've encouraged them to fill out their census forms, register for the election. They hosted a virtual town hall with Senators McSally and Sinema and tribal leaders, and have continued a campaign to educate people on signing up for all of these things. Donation level is $50. I want to thank more as they're getting so many donations. Cynthia at $1,000, Barbara at $50, Ruben at $1,250, Tracy at $100, David at $250. Thank you, thank you. If you remember only one thing from tonight, besides the beautiful fashion, remember this. When the Phoenix Indian Center says they are here for you, they mean it. It's proven in all that they've done this year and since the opening of the doors in 1947. $25 is the level. They can only do what they do with your support. So please continue to give, text to give, share with your friends and family. $25 is our final level. I want to thank Kendra at $250, Fred and Kara at $300, and Shauna at $25, Monty at $100, Deborah at $100, Shirley at $500. Thank you for your donations. Continue bidding. I want to toss it back to our awesome CEO, Patty, to wrap up this awesome show.
What a phenomenal show. I want to thank our textile artists, Robert and Patricia and ACONAV, for bringing us the beautiful colors and designs that were woven throughout the show. I also want to thank our other participants in the show and say, you rock. We couldn't have done it without you. You've heard a couple of themes throughout the show. One is that the Phoenix Indian Center is here for our community. And we are. We have phenomenal team members that are here daily, able to reset, redesign, and be ready to offer programs and services in a COVID-safe way. But we can't do it without you. We need your help now more than ever. I also want to thank you for your support and your friendship tonight, and to let you know that you have joined the Phoenix Indian Center community. You are now our cousins. So cousin, we want to make sure that you remain safe, so we are all here together for the 38th annual Silver and Turquoise Ball. And we're hoping that it's face-to-face, but it might be virtual, and if it is, we'll bring you another phenomenal program. So I want to tell you to please wash your hands, wear your mask, and make sure that you vote in the upcoming election, because your vote matters and it's so important. So in the words of several of our famous powwow MCs, I want to say, Gabriel Ayala, play us out. Hey, hey, ya!